We're out here at the Wire Pass Trailhead and about to hike to the wave. So I had the Zion Ultra on Saturday. We were staying in Kanab for a few days, so I figure in Kanab, why not try my hand at the wave lottery? So they offer 10 walk-up permits per day, all by the lottery. And tried it the first day. There was 162 people there for 10 permits. Didn't get picked. Tried it the second day. There was 175 people there, and I was the last number they called. So it's pretty awesome. So we're here at the trailhead, getting ready to go. 6 miles. None of the trails marked. It's all through wilderness. So when you win the lottery, they give you this pamphlet, and it has pictures of different landmarks you look for. And that's it. So I have that. I have a map on my phone and a backup map on my phone. But we're kind of just going to be wandering through the wilderness here, so you can see where we're at. And here's the parking lots. There's a good number of people here, but they limit this to 20 a day. It's 10 walk-in permits and 10 online permits, which you have to apply for at least 4 months in advance. So it's a really hard permit to get, and I'm honestly really lucky that I got picked for it. So I'm pretty excited. So we're gonna get started here and checking along the way. So this is the map they gave us, and there's 12 pictures here to figure out where you are. This is picture number 1, and this is where we're at. There's my mom. So we're gonna stay to the right here, and then we're gonna look for picture number 2. We'll check in then. Coming up on picture 2 here. So you can see the hill off on the right, and then the saddle over there, kind of below where the sun is. That's where we're going. It's kind of like a little game in and of itself to find the picture. And the terrain that we're on is just sand through the desert. So we're getting there. So we're approaching the saddle that we saw in picture number 2. And we're got to climb up this saddle to get to picture number 3. But this just looks really, really cool. Oh, this is awesome. We're pretty much going to be on slick rock like this from here on out, from what I understand. So before it was easy because, first of all, there was a trail through the sand, but you could see where all the footsteps were. But now we're into terrain like this, so we're gonna have to rely a lot more. And there are signs here. They said there weren't any signs. Look how cool that looks. But there's been a few signs like this, which I guess is good. So you kind of know that you're on the right path. Awesome thing about this being such an elusive permit to get is there's no one else here, so you kind of enjoy it to yourself. It's beautiful. So this is actually picture 3, I think. There's the teepees back there. So we're going to be heading that way-ish to get to picture number 4. the Twin Buttes. I don't know if they're quite in view from here, but we'll see them shortly, I guess. So this is the ridge that we just crossed, and it says to keep it on our right. Those are the teepees up there, just peeking through the top of the rock. That little hill right there is kind of what we're going towards. So I almost made the mistake of going down there, but we figured out that this was the right way to go, so hopefully we're still good. Typically trails like these would be white dotted, but not out here, because I guess finding it is half of the adventure. It's so cool. Should be a little bit more than halfway there to the wave, so starting to get kind of excited. We've reached point number 4, as evidenced by the Twin Buttes straight ahead. So we're going to keep following this path, and we're going to go to the right of the Twin Buttes, kind of where that saddle is. And we got 2 more points to get to, and then we'll be at the wave. Just take a second to appreciate the beauty that we're walking through right now. There's my mom. She's doing good. This is so cool. So we're going to the right of the Twin Buttes right now. This should take us to point number 5. And then we're just looking for a vertical crevice that we follow. You can see the sand dunes up ahead. I think we need to go a little bit more until we get to the picture. But this is just awesome here. It's crazy how beautiful this is. Alright, so we've reached point 5 officially. I don't know if you can see that because of the shadow, but there's a vertical crevice in that rock formation ahead, which is where we're going to. And there's sand dunes shortly before that. But we're just following that vertical crevice here for a little bit. And you can see footpaths as the slick rock turns back into sand. So we know we're on the right path. I jumped ahead of my mom a little bit, but she's up there. She's still doing good. And I just can't believe how beautiful this is, especially against the blue sky. It just looks awesome. Hoping the video is doing it justice, but I'm sure it isn't, because it never does. So if you're lucky enough to score a permit for yourself, this is just something you have to do in person to get the full effect. It's awesome. So we're just making our way through here, through this unbelievable scenery. But it said when you are standing in the gap between 2 small sand dunes, you'll be at point 6. So There's a sand dune there. There's a sand dune there. So I think we're at 0.6, which means the wave shouldn't be too much further. Let's see the old picture map here. So we don't actually go up into that vertical crevice from before. We just kind of use it as a guide, it looks like. But there's picture 6. That's where we are. So I think we're good. Amazing. So the wave should be straight ahead. So we've reached Sand Cove Wash, and this is the last part of the journey here. Up this nice, steep, thick, sandy hill. We're just trudging along. But the wave will be at the top of this. This is fun. How you doing, Mom? You're doing good. Oh. This is awesome. Some guys up there, pretty much the first people we've seen in a couple of miles. Here, let's take a break over here for a little bit. All right, so we've made it up the sandy hill there. So we're almost there now. This isn't the final destination, but gonna have these. We're in the middle of the sandstones now, and it's just so cool. Smile, Mom. There's a couple of people ahead of us, so we're trying to give them a little bit of space, but looks like we're going this way. But I'm gonna wander up here, because why not? This is just too cool. You know, I've been fortunate enough to run and hike through some pretty epic places, but I've got to say this takes the cake. Not only because of the scenery, but because of how, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Just because of how isolated it is, with them, you know, only limiting it to 20 people a day, and they're not really being, there's a little arch up there. There's people up there. That's cool. Just with having to like find the route and everything with the picture map they give you, like you just kind of feel like you're on your own little adventure through this otherworldly environment. That's amazing. There's my mom. Look at that. How that swirl curves there. It's crazy. All right, I gotta get some pictures here. Like with that, that's unreal. So we're just going through this little mini slot canyon here with all this beautiful sandstone. I'm not sure if where we just were was like the final destination for the wave. I think it might have been, but it looks like the trail continued because I know there's a second wave and there's some other cool things to see around here. So we're probably just gonna explore the area for a while because this literally might be our only chance, just with how elusive these permits are to get. I still can't believe I got picked. Let me check my GoPro battery. Don't want to kill the battery, but I guess we should film as much as we can. I didn't bring any extra batteries here too. I'm still on the one I was using at Zion. But yeah, I think that was it back there. So that was the wave. So now we'll go find the second wave. There's also a window and an arch, which I think I pointed out you can get to, which will require a little bit of climbing, but I'm basically gonna see all there is to see here because this is just amazing. So we'll head back that way, try to find the second wave. So we're up here just doing a little bit of exploring. This is, they call this the second wave. And it's not quite as cool as the first wave, but the first wave was like the coolest thing I've ever seen. So it's to be expected. It's still pretty awesome. But this is pretty much it right here. And I'm getting some really cool pictures up here. And we're just hanging out. They say that the temperature here, it's like 10 to 15 degrees hotter than what they say it is because of how it reflects off the rock. It feels pretty comfortable, to be honest with you. They say that the high is only going to be 84 today, so you figure 95, 100 out here, but it honestly doesn't feel that bad unless I'm just, you know, pretty well acclimated to the heat by now, which may be the case. But there's a couple other spots out here. There's an archway up there, which apparently it's a class 3 scramble to get there. So I'm not sure if we'll do that or not. I know my mom's not gonna be up for that. So I don't know. This might be it. We might turn around soon, just because it seems like everything else you're pretty much climbing up there, which I wouldn't mind doing, but yeah, I don't know. But it is beautiful here. And it's especially beautiful because there's no one else here. It's cool because you just have the freedom to go wherever you want and see whatever you want. Look at that. Oh, it's breaking off. It's crazy. Awesome. I feel very, very, very lucky that I'm here right now. I won the lottery on my second try. People try for years and don't win. So I guess someone up there likes me. I keep getting to explore these really, really amazing places. Beautiful. I'm about to film. So decided to take the class 3 scramble up to the Melody Arch up there. Now my mom's all worried about me. It's not that bad, it's just steep. But, I mean, you can pretty much find your way. There's not really a designated trail or path. But you pretty much just go up. So you're at the top. And she's still there, worried about me. But I mean, I might never be here again, so You kind of have to see everything. At least, that's my opinion. But what do I know? What do we got here? So Mom is heading back to the wave, the regular wave, where there's some nice shaded spots. I'm heading up here, just a Melody Arch. There's a tour guide there that told my mom it would be okay. So I appreciate El Jefe for having my back. This is awesome. So we got to keep going up. But I don't know what the best path to take is. Look at my mom walking through the wilderness like a champ. There's the arch right there. So if I do this, I'm gonna put the camera away because it's gonna require all 4 limbs. Let's see if there's another way back here. I'll probably put the camera away anyway, just because, you know, if something were to happen, it's good to have all your hands free. It's beautiful up here. See, this doesn't look quite as steep. So I'll climb up here. I'm gonna shut the camera off, and barring disaster, check in when we're at the arch. So we made it up a little ways more. I'm at 17% battery, so don't want it to run out, but at the same time, this is like some of the coolest scenery I've ever seen. So I want to get as much of it on film as possible. And if the camera dies on the way back to the car, it's no big deal. I came here to film this, so that's what we're doing. So I can see the arch that way. It's crazy, all these rocks are just loose up here. It's wild. Okay, I see a path. I can see my mom down there. That's crazy. Get a picture of that. It is beautiful up here. You just have to see it in person. I feel like there's nothing I say or do or film will do it justice. It's crazy. Looks like there's a guy up there, so that's cool. So we're gonna go up a little bit more. Just trying to determine the best path, but I think it's, you just kind of go up until you're there. So cool. Wow. Wow. All right, I'm gonna finish this climb and turn the camera back on when we're at the Melody Arch. So we just came down from that, but we are here. So that wasn't too bad. There were only like 1 or 2 slightly sketchy spots. But this is our reward. I think my mom just yelled for me. It's so funny. This is unbelievable. I'm so glad I came up here. This is awesome. Oh my gosh. My mom's probably having a heart attack. I'm sure she's watching my every move. I don't know if you can see her, but right there is where the wave is. The second wave is way over that way. That's what we climbed up. You can see one person, or two people, climbing down. But you basically just follow this hill up, however way you can. Then you go up, then you gotta come down a little bit to get here. But this is incredible. There's 4 people there at the wave, my mom, and I think there's that tour guide I mentioned, and the 2 people that are with him. And those are pretty much the only people we've seen out here. Amazing. I'm gonna enjoy this view for a little bit. I'm also gonna eat because I'm a little hungry. Got some beef jerky and some other sports nutrition stuff, sport beans and gels and stuff like that. But this seems like a good spot to relax and enjoy the view, have a little snack before we head back. That's crazy. It's awesome. I might film a little bit once we're back down at the wave again. And then my battery's kind of low, like I said, so won't film as much on the way back as I did on the way here, but I'll get a little bit. It took us about 2 hours to get here, a little over 3 miles. It takes a little bit longer when you have to navigate, and not too hard of a hike. You know, at the office they said it was like really strenuous. I wouldn't call it really strenuous. It's just you got to have some route finding skills. But the picture map they give you is actually pretty helpful. I was surprised. All the landmarks in the pictures I was able to spot pretty accurately and kind of replicate the pictures they had on there. So that was fun. That made it kind of like a little game to get out here, which was cool. So for those of you that don't know, to even get this permit, there's 2 ways you can do it. There's 20 people allowed here per day. There's an exception, and I'll explain that in a second, because that's how we got out here. But if you apply online, you have to apply 4 months in advance, and it costs $7 per day. So you can apply for 3 days, 4 months in advance. So if you do 3 days, I think it's $7 per day per person and per animal. So if you bring your dog, it's another $7, which is kind of cool that dogs are allowed here anyway. But literally thousands of people do that, and it's extremely hard to get a permit that way. You're much more likely to score a walk-in permit, which is still hard, but not as hard. So if you're in Kanab, which is a little town right on the border of Utah and Arizona, you go to the office there, and there's a lottery system. So they pick 10 people from the online permits from 4 months in advance and 10 people for walk-in permits. Now, if you're awarded the walk-in permit, it's for the next day. So I won the lottery yesterday to hike today. My GoPro died, unfortunately, while I was mid-video up there in the arch, but I'm on my way back down now. So I just wanted to take this on my iPhone just in case I don't have a closing video for this video. But basically what I was explaining on the GoPro was the process to get selected. And I don't know where it cut off, but basically they take 10 per day for a walk-up permit and 10 per day for an online permit, which you have to apply for 4 months in advance if you do it online. For a walk-in permit, you're awarded the permit for the next day if you're selected. So I won the lottery yesterday to be able to hike today, for example. And basically, you know, if you're in Kanab, which is a small little town kind of on the Utah-Arizona border. You go to the office, they open at 8:30, and you fill out your application. The lottery starts at 9, so you're given a number. Once you hand your application in, they assign you a number, and then at 9 o'clock, there's a little bingo ball machine, and all the numbers are put into that machine, and they select 10 people per day. So that's really cool. So they don't select 10 permits, they select 10 people. So you're allowed to have a maximum of 6 people per permit, like in your party. So if they call the first number and it just so happens that it's a group of 6, then there's only 4 more slots available. So what happened with us is they usually only allow 10, but there's an exception. If there's 9 people and there's 1 slot remaining, they will allow a group of 2 to be number 10 and 11, but no more than that. So if there's a group of 3 or 4, you either have to kick someone out of your party, or you have to defer your permit. You can't even like save it for another day. So they cap it at 11. If you know, they call it the +1 rule. So when I won it, the first guy that won was a solo hiker. So that was 1 spot. Then there was a group of 2, group of 2, group of 2, and another group of 2. So those were 9 spots. And we were the final number called. So we got to be numbers 10 and 11. So usually it's only 10, but we got really lucky. So we were in Kanab for 2 nights. So I tried it twice. The first day I tried it, there was 162 people there. The second day, which is when I won, there was 175. So still not great odds, but a lot better than trying to get it online, because I mean, thousands and thousands of people try online and your odds are just so small. You know, there was a lady there, I overheard talking. She's been trying to win a permit online for 9 years. 9 years. You know, and she'd also tried a few times in person, but had never been. And there's me, got it on my second try. So it's pretty cool. I was number 66 when I won. So little Mario magic for all the Penguins fans out there. But anyway, I'm kind of stalling. I want to get some pictures of this before I head back down, but I want to wrap this video up. So hope you enjoyed getting to hike through the wave through this video. It was might be the coolest thing I've ever seen, to be quite honest with you. And it's a very elusive hike, so this very well may be the only time I'm ever here. So I've just been trying to film and photograph as much as possible just to capture it all. And I know it won't do it justice, but I hope that it gave you guys a taste if you watched it. So you can see the wave down there, it just looks so beautiful. So anyway, if you did watch it the whole way through, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.